Who's actually going to get the most out of a heavy-duty countertop convection oven, and who's better off putting their money toward a smaller countertop toaster, or a full-size range? If you're trying to decide whether a commercial-grade appliance belongs in your kitchen, the questions are simple. Do you need to speed up service without sacrificing quality? Do you have the space and the 220-volt line to accommodate a 73-pound steel box? And most importantly, does the price make sense for the amount of cooking you'll actually do day to day? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started digging into the high-capacity countertop ovens market, I was struck by how many options promise restaurant-level speed, but then fall short in everyday practicality. The Cadco VKII 220 VariKwik sits in that sweet spot between a tiny kitchen gadget and a full-sized wall oven. It's built for commercial use, meaning a sturdy stainless steel housing, a dedicated 220-volt circuit, and an intuitive touchscreen front panel. That sounds impressive on paper, but the real test is whether those features translate into everyday value for a small business owner, a serious home baker, or a catering hobbyist. Let's start with the big picture use case. Imagine you run a busy coffee shop that also offers a rotating menu of pastries, sandwiches, and small casseroles. Your current setup is a standard convection toaster oven that takes 2,030 minutes to bring a batch of muffins up to temperature, and you're constantly juggling limited rack space. The VariKwik's accelerated service time claim isn't just marketing hype. The 220-volt heating elements actually deliver heat faster than a typical 120-volt oven. In real terms, you can see a 12-inch pizza go from frozen to golden brown in roughly 810 minutes, shaving 515 minutes off each cycle. That time saving adds up quickly during a lunch rush, letting you turn tables faster without compromising on texture. Now, that speed advantage only matters if you have the space to set it up. The unit measures about 24 inches wide, 20 inches deep, and sits roughly 13 inches tall. It's a solid, industrial-looking box that will dominate any countertop it sits on. If your kitchen is already cramped, you'll need to rearrange or dedicate a permanent spot for it. The heavy stainless steel frame, 73 pounds, also means you'll need a stable surface. The last thing you want is a unit that can wobble when you open the door. For a small-scale operation that can sacrifice a bit of countertop real estate, it's a worthwhile trade. The speed and volume you gain far outweigh the loss of a few inches of prep space. What about home cooks? If you're the type who bakes a loaf of sourdough every weekend, roasts a chicken once a month, and occasionally throws together a casserole for holiday guests, a commercial-grade oven might feel like overkill. The touchscreen interface is indeed intuitive. You can set temperature, timer, and mode with a few taps, and the display gives you a clear readout. However, most home cooks won't tap into the high-precision cooking functions that professional kitchens rely on, such as the enhanced cooking precision mode that maintains tight temperature tolerances. For a home kitchen, you might be paying for a feature you'll never use, and the need for a 220-volt outlet adds an installation hurdle that many renters simply can't overcome. One of the practical strengths that really shines through when you step into the kitchen is the versatile cooking area. The interior is spacious enough to accommodate two full-size sheet pans side by side, which means you can bake a dozen cookies on one rack and a tray of roasted vegetables on the other, all at the same temperature. That dual-rack flexibility is a game-changer for anyone who needs to multitask, whether you're a caterer prepping a buffet or a restaurant owner looking to keep a steady flow of sides hot without overcooking them. The ability to run two different items at once without cross-contamination of flavors thanks to the independent airflow and the precise control panel means you're not forced to choose between quality and quantity. On the flip side, the unit size and power draw come with hidden trade-offs. The 220-volt requirement isn't just a plug-and-change. It often means you have to either install a dedicated circuit or relocate an existing one. For a small storefront, that's a manageable expense, but for a home kitchen you're looking at an electrician's bill that could easily top $200. Additionally, the oven's robust construction translates to a heavier weight, so moving it for cleaning or repositioning is a two-person job. If you value portability, perhaps you run a food truck that needs to pack and unpack equipment nightly. This model will feel more like a permanent fixture than a flexible tool. Another practical weakness is the learning curve around the enhanced cooking precision feature. The touch screen lets you fine-tune temperature increments down to 1 degree, which is fantastic for delicate souffles or melt-in-your-mouth croissants. However, that same level of control means you have to be diligent about setting the correct parameters. An inexperienced user can accidentally set a temperature too low and end up with undercooked food, or too high and